What's going on, everybody? Matt with Middle Tennessee Geek coming back at you finally for issue number 2 of the Spider-Man 94 comic that's coming out. It's been a few months since we, looked at issue number 1. I've read issue 2 and 3 and just been so busy and just haven't had time to kind of sit down and go over the details with you. Um, well, for issue 2, we're not going to go, or even issue 3, we're not going to go deep dive into all the lore and all the characters like we did in the first issue. We kind of built the story by doing that already. So it's more the same characters going along in this, especially in book 2. And characters we already know, and there's a brief moment of some we don't, but there was really no need for me kind of digging in any further than what I did. You can always just kind of do that on your own if you choose to. Again, that was my first time doing a comic book review, so hopefully you enjoyed it. I know it was kind of overly stimulating with the conversation, with the deep dive of the characters and whatnot, but hopefully for those that didn't know the information that like I didn't appreciate that. But we're gonna jump back into issue 2. I know I'm again really behind on doing these. We're gonna go ahead and back to back record issue 2 and 3. So issue 2 and 3 is gonna look, I'm gonna look like exactly the same background, same shirt. But we'll release them at different times just to kind of lead up to issue 4, which is coming out, according to Kindle, coming out on December 24th, so Christmas Eve. So I doubt I'll be able to be recording for that issue on that day, but hopefully within a few days after I'll be able to, because I'm actually going to be taking some time off and being around for the holidays. So looking forward to that. But yeah, let's get back into it. Let's catch up with our hero. Just following up on issue 1, this last few pages here, Spider-Man is fighting out with Kaine on Peter's and May's house. I believe it's their house. It looks like it is. I just know Kaine came in and took Peter out, and then since he knew who he was, he didn't hold back. So, and we see where Kaine had the flash of memory of Mary Jane. And he was confused and hurt by this because the psychotic knives that he says, and he kind of just runs off and kind of just doesn't know, and he's mad at himself because he's failed his father Morlun, who's has kind of sent him out to get Spider-Man to bring him to him. Then Peter goes back to the house and and kind of Mary Jane goes off on Aunt Anna because Anna is Anna. She says what she thinks. Then we end up, back in the lab with Morlun and Kaine, and basically Kaine has lived his life to the point, and Morlun has absorbed his life essence, and but he's got more growing there in the background. So let's pause there for a moment and let's get set up for issue 2. That's just kind of a background, just kind of a reminder since it's been a minute to issue number 2. And let's get that pulled up for us here. All right, so issue 2, which came out in October. This is just the digital front that I got for this one. I'm still buying the books themselves. Just I love Spider-Man. I want to support this. So if this helps if me buying it on digital and comic format brings out more, I'm all for supporting it. So I'm not sure what all variations of the front are, but I'm sure you could do a web search and see those. But let's dive into issue number 2. Jim Shooter. Tells about him. Unfortunately, he did pass, earlier in this year. Who's known, well-known writer and such for this hero in particular, and among others. So you can go into that and starting off our pages, kind of following up with the last one. You can kind of see the birth process or the growth process of Kaine and the clone. And he says, "Welcome back, my son." Myself didn't really make some news as that. So chapter 2 is entitled Rebirth. and re-death. So we go here. He's, no need to struggle, Kaine. No need to fear. We have been through this process hundreds of times. So apparently, this is something he has to do. Something's going on here. But somehow he's able to transfer the memories from clone to clone. But clone from my own cells. You've been born, you've lied, and you've died, which is pretty bleak life. And I pray that each rebirth your design will be corrected, and you will know a full life as my little servant. So going into this, he already knows that the time is limited for what he has with Kaine. At least this version, because remember the last one we just talked about, he basically killed him and took his life essence. And my friend about the generations click and talk on the inevitable doom. It always begins at the moment of your birth, which means you are both my greatest triumph and most tragic failure. So he can create life, but at the same time, it's not sustainable. So, gonna not get deep that, but he does say here, at the right here, if you can see, and when your generation reaches an inevitable peak, I will feast on your energy, and in death, you will grant me continued life. And you just kind of see him kind of freaking out, which I would be too. And we start off here, which goes and leads into the next page, much as I'd hate to admit it. Anna Watson may have been right when she told Peter Parker that he needed to end his association with Spider-Man. Even if she has no idea that Pete and Spider-Man are one and the same. After all the struggles, all the sacrifices Mary Jane and I made in order to get back home again, how can I risk our love? Excuse me. And he just goes into more self-talk here. Then boom, an exploding banana. Who's attacking me? A mad scientist with a fruit fetish? You're not stopping us this time, Webhead. Yeah, you're going down. Banana bomb number 2 coming up. So I did not know these characters. Again, if they weren't in the animated series back in the early 90s, or if in the reiterations of the animated series that I've seen that have come out since, then I'm not familiar with them. So apparently these are the Grizzly, the Kangaroo, and the Gibbon, if I'm saying that correctly. Excuse me. Come on, you guys. Do you really want to go back again? You just got out of jail. You beat us before because we were looking alone. And now we're together. We're unstoppable. So this is where you just kind of, without going into all the reading, so I don't want to deter you guys from going out and getting the book and reading it and influence yourself, or getting the digital copy off Amazon. It kind of goes into a tussle with, the 3 bad guys here. One says, ouch, because they kind of knock heads here. And then Bazan, I almost want to say Bazinger for Sheldon Cooper, but move on. Bazana Conk hits Kangaroo in the face. Every time they've attempted robbery, they failed miserably. They've never hurt a single civilian. So keep that in mind. These guys are just armored up thieves, or buying genetic thieves or something, but they've never hurt any civilians, so he's trying to go easy on them. And so I'm getting the feeling that with a good few breaks, they may actually become valuable members of society. Okay, then out pops all of a sudden Leapfrog. I've heard of this character, but I think I only remember seeing it in a version of She-Hulk, the anime series, or not the anime, but the live action series that came out on Disney. So I think it's the only time I've really seen that character involved in anything personally. I know it's a character that exists, so just never researched much into that one. So if you guys know, let me know in the comments if you know anything about any of these 4 bad guys. I'll be glad to learn. So definitely jumping on them, because reading the comments a lot quicker, and I just don't have the time to do a deep dive on every bad guy. So, and I've had enough, and that's where he just kind of kicks them all around. But then Morlun jumps in. He goes, "Who the heck are you?" He goes, "Your ending," basically. So, all right, then we go back to Mary Jane going to Anna's house. Just saying, if you're hearing something again, you can just turn around and please, can I just come in? I suppose. Anna's surprised she's there. You were always on its head, ready to fall off the handle. I didn't come for a lecture, Mary Jane says, which she's a redhead, so she's not wrong. What did you come for to apologize? What did you come for to apologize? Then Anna I'm so sorry, sweetheart. I hate it when we argue. So it's just like a switch like that. She's like, turns off her defenses. So, and here we go on the next page. They're sitting down talking. Looks like they're drinking maybe tea or some coffee. Says they love it when they sit and talk, but I'm very ready for my job interview. Well, I suppose your husband can't support you in what he makes taking those ridiculous photographs for the Daily Bugle. And of course, that's Anna just starting again. So it's like, please don't start. We've had such a nice visit. Forgive me, dear, but sometimes I think about that. And she makes a good point here. Is it possible you were upset by what I said about Peter last night because deep down you think I'm right? She doesn't say anything. So you see her facial expression right here. She's thinking about it. Like, well, maybe part of me does think that. So then going on to the next page, prefix. So I preferred you put more of a fight. And we're back to the fight with Morlun and the other 4 bad guys. And he's just smacking these guys around. There's Kangaroo. And I don't remember how do you say this guy, but these with you can be dispatched. It surprised me. How was this a surprise, buddy? I'm going to break you in half. You will do cram. And just mops the floor with him. Nothing. Hey, take it easy. I've got this. There's no need to. And then he just smacks Spider-Man across the street. And Spider-Man almost gets hit by a truck, but Leapfrog jumps in to help him out. He goes, wait, weren't you and your friends trying to pound me into a hamburger? He goes, a little friendly fracas is I think they say fracas. There we go. It has one thing standing around while you get flattened by a truck. I never forget myself. Gibbon's my best buddy. So, and you're going to pay. And he's, this, I guess it's Grizzly gets a hit on him, scratch on him, and bleeding a little bit here through the scratches. Because it's the last moment a pleasure will know. And, Spider-Man's like, no. And then we see a Bane Batman style crack, and he more than just breaks this poor guy's back. He broke the Grizzly's back, but wait, you'll make a fine meal. My Urson, I'm not sure how you say that. Ran, what's he doing? And it's like he's draining the life force out of Grizzly. He's killing him. And that's when Spider-Man steps up, knocks him, and the other guys get away, trying to take the guy to the hospital. And Spider-Man goes, why would you do that to him? And more than research, why do you care? Their lives don't matter, but you're Spider. Aren't you exceptional? I admire. And so he kind of lays off for a second. He goes, I respect you for like me tower above the others. Why am I not flattered? I'm not. I think it's kind of in the way here. I have no. Sorry, I can't really see here. My thing's cut off. Get out of the way. Anyway, there we go. I have not wished to hurt you any more necessarily, so I ask you most sincerely to surrender. And goes, and why would I do that? Because the alternate is terrible indeed. Look sharp, Petey. Your aunt's got the camcorder out. Leading on to the next page where we have Aunt May watching an old video of Peter when he was young with Ben. And then comes in Mary Jane. When she says right here, before she gets close, he was one cute kid, wasn't he? He goes, oh, he was indeed. I'm very proud of the man Peter's become because these are the days I truly miss that little boy. Mary Jane responds, I'm sorry I didn't know him then. And she goes, oh, you would have gotten along fabulously. I don't know. I was quite the tomboy. Mary Jane reciprocates. And this is where it gets interesting. What? Why are you looking at me like that? What Anna said, it got to you, didn't it? You're very perspective, May. This is where we're talking about how Anna's just how she is. She has every right to be concerned about Peter. That boy's in massive contradictions. And this is May saying that about her own nephew. So conservative in some ways, I suppose he is that from me, but in others, he can be incredibly reckless. He's open, loving. He cares so much, yet he always seems as he's hovering a secret. Our Peter's complicated man, May. Yes, all the more complicated. And this is where this was the shocker, because he's Spider-Man. And that come from May. Then we go on to lead into the next page. No, I don't want to die. Who does? Please don't let me die again. Kaine is just, he's absorbed with the thought that he knows he's got a ticking time clock, and he doesn't understand who he is, but he's covering the name Kaine. So this is where I don't understand the character in the clone process that they've not really explained. Is that how does Kaine have these memories? Because all they've showed us so far is where Morlun has absorbed his life energy, and we see other clones are being made, but where's the transference of memories coming from? And I mean, is it kind of like a mind hive thing? I don't know. That's one thing I wish they would kind of explain more, is how he knows these things that he's never experienced. I mean, because each body is anew. So there's a name hovering on the edge of my mind. Kaine. Is that who I am? Kaine, servant of Morlun for so many years. He's talking about he's having a hard time remembering. But he remembers my job is the spider is my job to bring to my father, and then I failed, and then something happened. That's happened before, but it doesn't matter. That's not matters. It's serving the father's will. So again, it goes in right into there. Is like he remembers up to the point of him being killed. What happened? How does it happen? How's the transference of memories happen out? And if you guys know the answer in the comments, please tell me. As Morlun, he's so fast, he's so powerful. I can't stop him. I can't defend myself. I can't. Just at this point, he's just getting slapped around by Morlun. And truly sorry, man. But you see my needs far outweigh yours. And see, clean those dissolutes. He kind of I feel like this is kind of like an inner monologue here, because it's not pointing to the character. But it goes, so arrogant Morlun, so secure in your power, but so utterly delusional. Cling to those illusions while you can, for they'll soon be shattered in a million jagged shards. And one thing I didn't forget to point out here before I change the pictures, and the final fight you'll see before death devours you will be the face. And I'm supposedly, you think it's Spider-Man, but I guess these inner monologues are actually from the character we see here on the foot, which ends up being Kraven the Hunter. So those moments of where it's not pointing at anybody, it's just Kraven the Hunter. So we can see that probably Kraven's going to be in the next issue, but it does say Morlun's Tale in the next series. So that's going to be it for that one. All right, so that's going to finish up for book number 2. Next is issue number 3, where we actually do find out more. And just so you guys know, because I've already read ahead of this, we do find out more of Morlun's history, his backstory. That's a lot of the comic, but it is interesting, and we kind of see what goes on with Peter and being captured. So, well, let me know your thoughts or comments below, and we'll move on to issue number 3. Be on the lookout for that to be released soon. And again, we're building up to issue 4 that's going to come out on December 24th. And so hopefully I'll be able to get to that pretty quickly, with the time off I'll have, so I can get that out for you guys. And I do need to make a correction. I can't remember because it's been a few months since I've done this video, or done the first video. Initially, this was supposed to be 4 issues, but according to Amazon, there's gonna be 5 issues. So I'm looking forward to that, because the initial information we got months last year, or this year, earlier this year, was supposed to be a 4-book issue, but it looks like we're getting 5. So we'll see how that pans out. But don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about us. We love to help grow the channel and connect with you guys. I'm trying different things to help connect And what was your thoughts about book number 2? What was your thoughts about book number 1? Or I keep saying book, but they're issues. It's late. But yeah, we're going to jump into the next one, guys, and look out for that video. Don't forget to unleash your geek, let your fandom shine, and I'll see you next time.